So I think economic valuation is a good thing, but I think it has many problems, and it can lead to people making poor decisions when they're just using valuation. One thing is, well, what are people really valuing? Economic valuation usually is based on some kind of either market or hedonic type analysis of what people are willing to pay today on the margin. And so it's not telling what's going to happen if the amount of some service declines in the future or the demand for it really increases in the future. And often, since ecological things operate over long periods of time and can change abruptly, it's not say underestimating, but misestimating what the value of something is. And people have very poor models to translate things through time. The second thing I would say is a problem is something that is related, is that ecosystems produce a whole whack of ecosystem services simultaneously. And therefore, how do you separate the different things that are being produced? It's as if there was a factory that produced, TVs, sofas, airplane flights, and umbrellas and a whole bunch of things all at the same time in some very complicated way. And then people were trying to figure out if they're making a profit on any of these things. It could be very, very difficult. And so understanding these trade-offs or synergisms between as you change in ecosystem how these things are affected is one of the most essential things, but a lot of valuation approaches treat them, ecosystem services, as if they are all independent of one another. So the question is really how useful is some number if you don't know how these things interact? And then that goes along to another thing, is that ecosystems produce all these things, but they don't do it in some consistent, reliable way over time. You have big variations, so that one ecosystem that could be sequestering carbon in one year is maybe emitting carbon in the next year. And so how do you figure out what that's worth, or how you value it, or how you pay for it when it's changing so rapidly? And then if you especially think that that same ecosystem is doing a whole bunch of other things at the same time that are also changing over time, it becomes very, very difficult to get a number that isn't incredibly misleading. That being said, of course, to get some sense of what ecosystems do for people is a useful thing, but I think it becomes more problematic when people start thinking about payment for ecosystem services or designing climate change mitigation or carbon storage schemes. That's when it really doesn't work well.